So can you say it again?
Marquez.
Marquez?
Yes.
Great.
Marquez, either one.
How did this work out to end up coming to Seattle?
I think that was all Klint. You know,
Yeah.
we were together in New Orleans, and when he took the job here, I think it was a great fit. You know, obviously they lost some really good receivers, so it kind of opened up a door for me to come in and kind of step in where they lost those two hell of a players. So.
How excited are you to have that opportunity to stay with Klint after the success you had in
Yeah,
last year?
I mean, I'm very excited. You know, obviously I was only there for 7-8 weeks, whatever it was, and I was able to put up some pretty big numbers, in a short amount of time with 2 head coaches and 3 quarterbacks. So I think I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I think I'm super excited. What Klint has done and what his offense looks like.
What is it about Klint and his offense that seemed to be such a good fit for you?
Well, I think it's just it was a very similar offense to what I ran when I was in Green Bay. It's under that same Shanahan family, and I had a lot of success, with that play action and taking shots down the field, and obviously that's what I've done really well for a lot of my career, and being able just to kind of get back to doing that, it's been good. And then he's also given me opportunities to showcase my game in other ways, so not just, hey, just throw the ball down the field. He's giving me chances to catch under routes and slants and screens and everything.
You have a favorite route to run, and which routes do you think really
anything that gets me the ball, man. Yeah, I don't have a favorite route, man. Anything that Sam likes to throw, it's my favorite route.
What's the last year been like for you? I mean, last 18 with Kansas City,
Man,
you win the
crazy,
Super Bowl.
And yeah, I mean, scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl, getting released, signing in Buffalo, it not working out, getting released again, and then being, picked up in New Orleans the next week, and, relighting the fire. It's been crazy, to say the least, but that's the NFL, man, and it's all about the right situation. I think that's the most important thing. My faith never wavered, and my confidence never dropped down one time, no matter what the circumstances were. And like I said, I had some really high highs and some really low lows, but being able to stay, even keeled throughout the whole thing is, kind of always how I live my life.
Did you keep that Super Bowl ball, the touchdown?
For sure, yeah. It's at the house, locked up somewhere. Yeah.
You didn't have. Go ahead.
In your career, what's been your perception of the Seahawks when you played against them? Just kind of hearing about them from. What's been your?
I got to play against them in 2018, my rookie year. But I mean, this has been a really difficult place to play. It's a tough team to play. They're always going to be competitive. I got to play against them as well when I was in KC, but when we were in Kansas City. But it's just been a resilient team, and obviously it's been historically a good football team as well. So you're never going to have a team that's going to come in and lay down.
How would you describe Klint's offense?
Explosive, and that's what I love about it. I think he does a really good job of manipulating defenses and getting his playmakers the ball in different ways. A lot of shifts, a lot of motions, and then just getting the defense to see the same thing, but we're doing something different. And I think for a guy like him to understand that and how to attack a defense in different ways, it's fun, and it makes being on offense really easy.
So you had another quarterback to work with, but your first impressions of Sam Darnold?
Man, Sam can spin it, and I think he showed that, last year. Obviously we were the same draft class, and he was drafted high because he has the ability. And it's all about the right situation, man. Especially at quarterback, you get put in the wrong situation, you won't ever succeed. And I think he was put in the right situation last year, and it showed that what he can do. And I'm super excited about what he can do now.
You didn't have as much success in Buffalo, and then you go and have 4 touchdowns and 8 starts in New Orleans. Same person.
Yeah.
What's different? How do people not know? You're the same person. What changes to make that happen?
I mean, I think it's just the situation, man. Offenses are different. Schemes are different, and the focus is different. What Buffalo was doing just didn't fit what I did. I think it's the simplest way to put it. I don't think it's necessarily like, they were bad people or anything. I love those guys. Me and Josh talk all the time now. He's one of our closest friends now. Just from my short time. Literally just spoke to him like 2 days ago. And so I think it's just the right situation, man. And that's just the NFL. That happens with so many guys around the league, where it's just like, man, I'm in the wrong place. I can never succeed.
Tell people what they should expect from Klint Kubiak as the offensive coordinator. Like, behind the scenes, not necessarily
Klint
during game day.
Nah, he's actually really like cool, man. Like real like chill dude. You don't really see a whole lot of like ups and downs, man. Like no matter what's going on, he's gonna attack it head on and take responsibility when he needs to, and he's gonna hold people accountable. And I think that's something that I respect the most out of him. You know, we go into our meeting rooms, and if we play terrible, he's gonna say, "Hey, we played terrible." And if he calls a terrible play, he's gonna say, "That's on me. I called a terrible play, or I called a terrible game plan." So I think, you know, players respect that. It's like, man, if I didn't do my job, I want you to hold me accountable, and vice versa.
Are there any guys on the roster that you have prior connections with?
Not that I know of. I hadn't really looked at the roster yet. I was more excited about just Klint more than anything else, and Sam, to be honest. So I haven't even looked at, you know, who's here. You know, NFL changes so much, man. You know, 30% of your roster switches every year. So I have no idea. I know Ray Sean was here last year, and you know, me and him grew up together. The Griffin twins, we grew up together too. So I got some history with some guys who've been in the Seahawks uniform.
Impressions of Michael Dom?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's a young coach, and like I said earlier, coming in and replacing Pete is not an easy thing to do. And I think the players love him. I think he's been able to create a dynamic where players respect him, but also like appreciate being around him. And I think I'm excited about that.
How are you able to know that? I mean, you know, you're over here playing. But
Man, people talk, you know, and like you can tell though. You can tell like guys enjoy playing hard for him, and I think you can kind of see when a team is motivated by their coach, by how they play, and you know how they, you know, even if they're having a up and down season, if they're still competing, that's usually a testament of like the head coach is getting guys to buy in.
How do you approach that? I mean, DK and Tyler are pretty big shoes to fill and
Yeah,
all
I mean,
that.
you don't try to, you know, fill those shoes. You know, I had the same question when I went to Kansas City and trying to fill the shoes of Tyreek Hill. Like, you can't do that. You know, you go out and you be the best version of yourself, and whatever that looks like is what it looks like. You know, you can't go out and try to. You know, Tyler's a 15-year vet. You know, however long he's been playing, feels like forever.
Yeah.
And put up so many yards, and DK is one of a kind. You know, so you can't really recreate something was only created once. And you should go out and be the best version of yourself, and that'll be enough.
How have you changed? If you've changed, how have you changed since Green Bay?
I don't think I necessarily changed, man. I think I just got better. I think I've just learned more about being a professional, learned more about myself and how to do it. I think even my time in the Saints is probably where I see the most growth for myself. I think Coach Dub Williams, he is one of the best receiver coaches I've ever been around. And he got so much out of me in those 8 weeks that I was there. And I'm grateful for that guy because he kind of revamped, who I was as a player, and made me buy into things that I had never done before. And so just learning those things, and like I said, it's not something that I had never seen before, but just the constant having to do it every day was something that I learned how to do.
Speaking Would you buy into that you didn't do before?
I mean, it's not necessarily like a one-time thing. It was more so a mindset of how to play receiver. Especially when you get into the NFL, you get kind of lost in these systems of hey, you got to clear this out for somebody else. You're not getting the ball on this play, so you got to do this for the play to succeed. But his mindset was no matter what the play is, you have to go win the route. And I think taking that mindset on, opposed to just falling into a system of hey, the ball's going here, so you're not getting it, so you don't really have to go and win on this play. Opposed to nah, win every single route, no matter if you're getting the ball or not.
Speaking of self, you told us about your faith. What are the unique stuff can you tell us that we might?
I like to cook a lot. I'm into fashion really heavily. I design clothes. I'm learning how to sew, so I can sew clothes, sew my own garments. So that's next on my list. I don't know, man. I'm like an onion. The more you throw back, the more you cry.
Are you a Fever fan?
I got this shirt. I got this shirt when I was in Paris for Fashion Week, and I thought it was cool because they were giving out NBA stuff. I was like, nah, give me the girl stuff. Let me support the girls a little bit.
So you're serious about fashion?
Yeah, I'm serious about fashion. Yeah, I'm serious.
Do you have a line?
Yeah, I have my own brand. It's called Six Selection. I have my own screen print company. It's called Crafty. They're both based out of St. Petersburg, Florida, where I'm from. And I'm in there daily, man, learning how to do stuff and make stuff. I have a fashion show that I'm doing April 12th down in Tampa. Yeah, man, I'm big into the fashion
Why
space.
fashion?
I'm an introvert by nature, and fashion's kind of been my way of expressing myself, and that's kind of how I've always seen it and done it, and it's kind of grown every year since then.
How close were you with the Griffin twins growing up?
Very close. We grew up since we were like 2 or 3 years old, so I've known them my whole life. We went to preschool together. We played little league football together, played high school football together. Like I've known them since we were like born. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.